Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. So in today's video, I am channeling a twin flame energy updates. I do channel these updates for twin flames every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to check back on those times and days if you feel guided to do so. These are really powerful times and spaces here during the live premiere of these readings for us to really vibrationally uplift one another just by being present with each other, because as I always say, we are all co-creators here on this channel. So thank you for being such a powerful and important parts of energetically supporting and creating these videos. So as I'm shuffling the energy oracle deck cards here, be sure to like this video and also double check that you are subscribed if you haven't subscribed yet, because when you subscribe to this channel, you are essentially tuning yourself into our vibrational collective here. And as a result, that lets me pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Also, do keep in mind that I do channel many different twin flame connections through these readings, so only take what resonates with you personally. And right away, the Goddess of the Moon card in the upright position, a divine feminine rising in her power. Of course, this has been an ongoing process for the divine feminine. Specifically, I'm hearing self-empowerment, taking your power back. And this is sitting really strong on the throat chakra. Also, the color blue might be significant to someone. I'm also seeing someone might have blue eyes because the color blue is associated with the throat chakra, and I'm just feeling that come up here as well. How is there a divine feminine who is taking back her power or experiencing this deepening of her self-empowerment right now? Earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. There's a waterfall on this card, and that's really standing out to me, so I feel that might be important to someone. But for most people listening, I'm really getting this message of some divine feminines who are tuning in, feeling guided to focus on the present moments or something that is very present with them in the physical. So this could be their physical body focusing on nurturing or nourishing themselves in some way. This could be moving their body in some different form or way through a different kind of exercise routine for some, taking walks in nature. For others, this could be more so about just experiencing this deepening of presence, really focusing on living in the present, being present with their now reality, with their physical body, with their physical environment, and specifically any nature that might surround them in their physical environments. There's also something here about water. So someone may be consciously or unconsciously using water as a tool to clear their energy, whether it's drinking more water, sitting by the water, especially bodies of running water. That might be where the waterfall was coming in here, because running water can actually be a really powerful tool for clearing your energy. Also, this could simply be speaking to someone who's using something like bathing. I see like a candlelit bath, or like using Epsom salts or something along those lines to really use this power of water to clear themselves energetically. And again, this could be conscious or unconscious for this divine feminine. And if you aren't resonating with that or using these specific tools connected with water, you may be feeling guided to do so, or this might be a message from your guides to kind of focus on finding some kind of physical tool, again, whether it's water, getting out in nature, to really clear your energy field on a daily basis and to carve out that time and space and to take those intentional effort steps for yourself. Because with rest and rejuvenation reversed and fourth chakra, the heart chakra in the upright position, I'm hearing a message from your guides, divine feminine, or your higher self, or the universe, whatever divine forces you personally connect with. And it's a message of someone who's been feeling a bit of physical pain or tension or emotional discomfort, or this feeling of restlessness from time to time recently. And your guides want you to know that these feelings, specifically I'm hearing tiredness or fatigue for someone. So someone might be sleeping more or just having trouble feeling fully rested, feeling a bit restless, or again, I'm hearing this could manifest as tension in this person's physical body. Specifically, I'm getting in the back, upper back, and neck areas for this person. Could be at play here, but I'm hearing from your guides, the reason that you're experiencing, again, if this is for you and you've had this discomfort either emotionally or physically, this is happening because of some kind of powerful shift that is taking place through your heart, which is really a self-reconnection, a reconnection with your inner self, which is so powerful as the divine feminine twin flame counterpart, because as you connect deeper with self-love, as you go through this process of self-reconnection, you naturally reach this state of hostilities reverse coming out here, this state of inner peace and harmony. You are no longer fighting against yourself. Specifically, I'm hearing for you, divine feminine, there's this energy of no longer fighting against your own shadows. And specifically what I'm hearing with this is like, there could have been a divine feminine who rejected certain aspects of herself or certain points of pain within herself or her past, or who could have been, I'm hearing like really critical in the past about certain things of her life or even her physical body. I see a divine feminine who is just really hard on herself, and this won't be for everyone, but for some divine feminine, I'm hearing that in the past you may have used self-betterments or like motivating yourself as an excuse for why you were picking yourself apart or being really hard on yourself. And I feel your guides really encouraging you to continue reaching for that space of peace within yourself, peace about your life, about your circumstances, about your body, knowing that everything will continue to unfold and align itself for you. But it starts with this energetic alignment rather than that physical exertion and burnout and force and push that you may have applied to these things in the past. So I know that's a bit of a specific message, but I also feel that will apply very specifically to some divine feminine listening. Carrying connections in the reverse position, the number 14 might be significant to someone. I'm also hearing the middle of the month or the middle of a month, so somewhere between like the 13th and 17th of either this upcoming month or a previous month may have been important to someone in some way. I'm hearing recently, in the recent past, but that won't be for everyone. So the Carrying Connection card, in the guidebook, it says that this card signals a break in communication or a parting ways of two people, whether romantic, social, or business. The present connection seems to be at or close to an end. Yeah, this kind of moving on energy. So what I really heard from this card before reading from the guidebook was that this divine feminine is walking away from those who are no longer aligning with this newfound energy of self-empowerment, who are no longer aligned with this greater level of heart expansion. I'm getting a very karmic energy from this card. So I'm sensing actually two different messages here. One message is that some divine feminines may be rising free from karmic relationships, if those are at play in your life. I'm hearing no longer interested or just bored by those old karmic cycles, patterns, or relationships because you've shifted your energy, Divine Feminine, to the point where those lower vibrational connections are simply no longer resonating with you. They're no longer aligning with you. And as a result, they're fading or dissolving out of your life. And that's actually a really beautiful thing for you. So I'm getting this message of keep going, keep moving forward, keep raising your energy. Don't be afraid of what you are leaving behind, because you aren't truly leaving behind anything. You're simply rising into the highest version of yourself and aligning with that highest version in all aspects, including in the arena of your relationships. So you will align yourself with higher vibrational forms of friendships, love connections, work connections, social connections, whatever might be at play here for you, because I do sense the ego for this Divine Feminine potentially stepping in from time to time and being afraid of what she is leaving behind, instead of allowing the soul to focus on what she is aligning towards here. By the way, I usually say this at the beginning, but if you are new here, do keep in mind when I speak to the feminine and the masculine, or when I use pronouns like his or her here, I'm really referring simply to an energy dynamic. So we all do have a balance of inner masculine and inner feminine within us. These are not referring to gender or anything like that specifically. And in fact, as someone who is on a twin flame path, you may find that these messages equally connect at times with your inner masculine or inner feminine. So now I'm beginning to hear from a divine masculine, because man holding a coin upright and envy reversed both came out here. And what these cards signal to me is a masculine who is awakening, who is rising in his own power, just like Goddess of the Moon upright signifies this self-empowerment happening for the feminine. I see with this man holding a coin upright the awakening of the masculine. But before we get into that, I do want to let you know that if those Divine Feminine messages were connecting with you, I will be channeling more specifics on how this heart center expansion or opening is affecting the Divine Feminine, because I did say that that could be causing some of this emotional or physical discomfort at times for some Divine Feminines. So that will be channeled in the extended, as well as more messages, Divine Feminine, from your guides, your higher self, or whatever divine forces you personally connect with. So the interesting thing about this envy card reversed for this masculine is the sentence I'm really getting is seeking fulfillment through the heart. This realization that material things, possessions, success have left this masculine feeling really unfulfilled. But there's also now this shift towards a more positive direction. This move towards this heart-centered, soul-centered fulfillment that is now becoming clearer to this masculine. So what else is going on in the energy field of the collective Divine Masculine at this time? Seventh chakra in the reverse position. This is the crown chakra, which of course connects with our spirituality, our connection to the divine. And the fact this card is reversed, I really heard this masculine's in the heat or the thick of his spiritual awakening, meaning he could be going through more of the intense aspects of awakening at this time. I'm hearing Divine Feminine, in many cases, you went through this so-called dark night of the soul period first, although you may still be going through this or feel this from time to time, but you went through the thick of this journey prior to this masculine in many cases. Again, this won't apply perfectly for everyone, because to some extent this does depend on your particular intentions on the soul level for this connection, as well as what wave or timeline of twin flame connection you personally connect with. But I'm hearing that for most, there was this situation where the Divine Feminine sort of forged the way through this spiritual awakening process. And I'm hearing for many feminines, your life began to feel like it was really falling apart, or things felt like they were falling into chaos, when really they were being realigned with your highest version of self prior to this happening for the masculine. And again, it might not be literally this these specific things that happened to you, divine feminine, prior to the masculine. But I feel the theme here is there's something divine feminine that you went through first. I'm hearing a trial by fire, or something very intense or painful that you had to go through first. And now the masculine is almost going through that same kind of situation. So again, this could apply to many things. I'm feeling it most strongly for most with some kind of spiritual awakening related experience. But for others, I'm hearing this could be related to tying up karmic cycles or patterns. So divine feminine, you could have shifted out of some kind of highly karmic situation for yourself, and now your masculine is doing the same within their own life. Again, just take that as it connects, but there's that energy of the divine feminine leading first and the masculine following after with some kind of very intense and at times painful experience that I do see the masculine going through very strongly at this time. Anxiety upright and happy family reversed. I'm getting that there's a masculine feeling a bit of emotional pain associated with realizations he's having about his desires for the future with the divine feminine, that he now is feeling as though he may have acted against or pushed away. With happy family, oftentimes this card connects with reunion and a twin flame connection. I'm hearing the number 444 may be significant to someone. Or the number 4 could also signify the month of April being a month of deepening clarity for this masculine. I heard very eye-opening, a very eye-opening month for the masculine in the collective. And I feel that there are these anxieties coming up about the reconnection in the physical, or potential reconnection between this masculine and feminine in the physical world, or again, a deepening of their connection or a greater level of commitments. And again, take this as it connects with you personally. But with the appreciation card upright, what's really pushing forward these feelings of almost like an anxiousness from this masculine of Angel of Love in the reverse. Am I worthy of this love? How can I move this forward? Still struggling with some feelings of unworthiness of unconditional love, and yet so strongly receiving the clarity about the truth of his twin flame connection, the truth of this deep level soul bond, feeling all of this admiration for the divine feminine, and yet still struggling with a little bit of his own worthiness, as well as some regrets, attachments to things that may have happened in the past. So I am going to reshuffle the cards here, and I want to channel a bit more specifically into what this masculine is feeling a bit anxious about when it comes to this reconnection or reunion. So let's get a few cards here to give us a full picture of what could be going on from the Hidden Truth Oracle and the Twin Flames in Separation deck. So what is this masculine feeling anxious about? I wonder if you are happy without me. So there's a deep feeling of insecurity coming up for some masculines here because, and another card just flew out. I couldn't let you get close to me. Yeah, because there's this feeling of, and again, this won't apply perfectly for everyone, but whether it was a literal moving on from the divine feminine, as in her letting go, really taking back her powers, setting boundaries in the 3D, or whether this letting go was more so this surrender from the feminine, even if she and the masculine are in more constant communication or connection, or even if they're in some kind of reunion in the physical, there was this surrender on the part of the feminine that led to this kind of feeling of letting go of all of those strings of attachment and fear and worry. And of course, this is an ongoing process. This isn't a perfectly linear process, but overall, the divine feminine is learning more and more to surrender, to release those expectations and attachments, and to really focus on herself. And so I see the masculine coming up with these anxieties about, I see you and I admire you, rising so greatly in your own life, but then I find myself worrying. And of course, This card also comes out. Would I be rejected if I contacted you? Do you still want me? I feel that specifically for someone who is in a period of separation, especially a separation in connection with communication with your divine masculine counterpart, if you are the divine feminine. And I see this masculine again, it's like fearing, would you even want me if I came back or if I contacted you or if I pushed forward this reconnection? Because, and another card here, I wish I could take back the hurtful things I said. It was wrong to take out my frustration on you. So I'm hearing for some, there could have been some arguments in the past, or this kind of back and forth tension emotionally that played out in the physical between the twins. But again, the divine feminine here has really, or is in the process of really surrendering all of this. And whether they are connected in the physical to a great extent or not, the masculine feels these shifts, and it actually does, from the ego, trigger a bit of fear over, what if you're moving on without me? What if you're growing without me? I'm also hearing this message of, what role do I play in your life, divine feminine? It's like the divine feminine is truly writing her own script for life, and her life is like this beautiful unfolding play of some kind, performance, expression of her most beautiful, empowered, self-loving, self-confident version of self. And this masculine is looking at that and feeling this overflowing admiration, but also at times this triggering of fear of, what role do I play in that beautiful performance of your life, that beautiful expression of you? And this especially applies for twin flames that have been disconnected in some way recently or in the past, or who are still dealing with some form of physical 3D disconnect between them. I fantasize about getting a second chance with you, and that's the card sitting most heavy on the throat chakra. I feel this being what the masculine most wants to communicate, or what he most thinks about communicating at this time with the feminine, is this desire for a fresh start, for some kind of movement forward, for a so-called second chance, either literally because he wants a second chance for himself because he has some form of regrets about what happened or what he did or said in this connection, or simply second chance in terms of giving their relationship another shot, a second chance. And I'm specifically picking up, by the way, the country of Canada came out in the word scramble. Also the word silver, which I feel could apply to silver jewelry of some kind, and the word separate. So I do feel these twin flames I'm channeling right at this moment are in some kind of separation. And I feel that for some, this could have been a long separation. And I feel I'm specifically now speaking to just one or two people, but I feel for some, there could have been some connection with your twin years or even decades ago when you were much younger. And there's this feeling of, I want to give us another shot. I'm specifically hearing a masculine say, now that we're older, or now that we're more mature or grown up. I always used to look at my life even when we disconnected, and I always thought maybe someday it would be you, maybe someday we'd end up back together. And now that I'm becoming more conscious of this soul connection between us, I really fantasize about giving us that second shots at reconnection in this lifetime. Again, I feel I'm speaking to only a few people in that specific message, and I'm really getting first or second wave twin flames. And I will channel more information on twin flame waves or timelines if that is something that you are interested in hearing more about. So do let me know in the comments if so, because I can channel more information on how different twin flames, so-called waves or timelines, can affect your reunion timeline, your period of separation, and everything like that. But for now, I do want to move forward in the reading. I will, however, be channeling more messages from this divine masculine in the extended reading, as well as messages from the feminine as well in the 3D. So what they consciously are thinking about saying to one another, or what they wish they could say or want to say to each other at the conscious level, because I do make that distinction between the 3D and the 5D. And here in this reading, we are going to be shifting into higher self messages now. But again, the link to the extended for more 3D messages and details from the masculine and feminine will be in the pinned comment and description box. So what does the divine masculine want to say on a higher self level here? Wow, very, very powerful cards. The yin yang card in the upright position, which as you guys know is the #1 twin flame card in this deck. This is a powerful sign of confirmation, coming out with the happy family card in the upright position. And I so boldly heard the message of, we are twin flames and I long to reunite. I want to reunite. Not just in this spiritual way, but in the physical world as well. That's what I so clearly hear from this masculine. This more conscious realization, which is really coming through the heart, because both of these cards are really coming through the heart chakra center. And I see this masculine saying, it's like I'm realizing this because of the way that you've been always sitting in my heart. It's like this masculine on a higher self level to the divine feminine is saying, no matter what phase or stage of life I've gone through, no matter how many weeks, months, or years go by, you are the one who remains a constant in my heart. And that is how I finally fully recognized you as my twin flame. Although consciously this masculine may not use the terminology twin flames, consciously he may interpret this as his greatest love connection, a soul connection, just depending on those 3D paradigms and belief systems he might have. But regardless, there is this acknowledgement of the depth that exists spiritually between himself and the feminine, and this desire to reconnect. I'm hearing to make it work in this lifetime. It's almost like a strong persistence or determination from this masculine. I'm hearing I'm really in it for the long haul with you. But as we've been channeling in recent readings, this could be kind of a silent, I'm hearing resiliency, a silent determination from this masculine to somehow make things work, to somehow create this reconnection or cultivates this reconnection. I hear clear the way for the reconnection. So for some masculines, there may still be the clearing out of things or interferences that they perceive to be or that you perceive to be in the way of this reconnection. And as I was speaking on that woman holding a coin upright, which often speaks to a karmic feminine situation, again, this will not be for everyone, but if your masculine is connected in with some form of karmic feminine situation, I do see that being one of the things that his higher self is here saying, I am clearing out these interferences from my life that has blocked us, divine feminine, from fully connecting in the past, so that with cornucopia upright, the 1111 card, so that it's like we can, I'm seeing two people like holding hands, like jumping through some kind of a portal together. And the person he's holding hands with is that goddess of the moon upright, not the karmic cycles and patterns weighing him down, but his true divine feminine counterpart, building this new foundation together, because this card is sitting on the root chakra as well. So in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling more information on, for anyone who may be in a situation where the masculine is still clearing out certain karmic energies or patterns within his life, I do want to channel more higher self messages from this masculine about how or what things are being cleared out so that it can clear the way for this reunion state between himself and his divine feminine counterpart. So the link to the extended, again, will be in the pinned comment and description box under this video. But for now, I am going to channel a final message from the Rumi Oracle. So what is one final message for twin flames listening to this reading? Enter the garden of delights. And I'm going to channel just a little bit from the guidebook here to close the reading. You have been through so much death, dear one, and I'm hearing really spiritual death or changes, transitions in life around you, within you. You have known this dark angel. That is why you are so full of life. Your attempts to stay as you have been, to render something in your life immobile or impervious to change, have failed. Let us celebrate. There is no delight in frozen moments long since past. Do you still hold on to that which is past? Let those horrors of the past be gone. They are no more than phantoms. The garden is here now to be touched, tasted, seen, heard, felt, inhaled, and loved. This oracle comes to you with a message. A new day is dawning for you. This is a time when the past will very soon cease to have any hold over you. You are invited into the golden light of plenty. Put your worries behind you now and step into your divine inheritance, where all is sorted according to kindness and grace. That feels like a really beautiful place to close this reading. And as I mentioned earlier, I will be channeling more in depth in the extended, diving deeper into everything that came up in this reading that is mentioned in the pinned comment and description. If you do want a refresher on what we will be channeling more on in the extended version of the reading, as well as we will also be channeling some higher self messages from both the masculine and feminine to one another. So again, all of that is in our beautiful Twin Flame Soul Tribe on Patreon, and the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. I hope you have a truly beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next reading video.